through the back. So we creepin', caps are blue, so you know that we peeking. In our bag for the night.
You're a black girl. You know your roots. It's February.
Your mom is never letting anyone in.
You're nothing but a slave. And after this, you're doing my laundry.
The way she just takes this bro.
I'm black and I'm proud.
Welcome to the second episode of 7 p.m. in Philly. I'm your host, Steve, and today we're going to talk about this nasty video that you guys have just seen. Before we get into that, I do have a guest here with me. My boy Majori is here with me, entrepreneur, blogger, business owner. Mage, welcome to the podcast, man. Welcome.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you for reaching out to me for this invite.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, guys, before we even jump into this, man, so in case you haven't seen this video, so this is something that's been out there for about 2 weeks now, and I kind of felt like this is something that we needed to talk about because I don't feel like it got the national attention that it should have had, and it's one of those things that it's on TV and it just kind of happens. And 2 weeks later we forget about it. We on to the next. So for me, I was like, you know what? Let's keep this shit going. Let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. So for people that don't know about the situation that happened, so these two girls, it's actually three of them, but two of the girls went to St. Hubert Catholic School. And one of them went to Franklin Town Charter. Allegedly, the news is all over the place with it, but from what I got, two of the girls from St. Hubert Catholic School created this Snapchat video. And as you can see, the one is spray painting the other one face black. And, they're saying all types of nasty shit. And it's just disgusting. And, they're saying, it's Black History Month, do my laundry, all this type of nonsense. And I don't even know where the fuck you even get this type of shit from, but it is what it is. But Mage, I wanted to ask you, man, when you first seen this video, man, what was your natural reaction? Like, how'd you feel about this shit?
I was upset, and like, Steve, this is this conversation that we have to have, and everybody needs to acknowledge. But yeah, I was upset. The fact that this girls can do this on Snapchat and think it was okay to send around and think send around to their friends and think it's a joke and didn't think anything of it. I don't think that's right, and they're definitely getting that from somebody else.
Absolutely.
They're definitely getting that from somebody else. So it made me upset, and I don't think that it's right, especially they're supposed to go to a Catholic school.
Right.
But it's not too far off from what I witnessed myself going to a Catholic school as
well.
Right. So
yeah. No, I definitely got to say, like, when I first seen this shit, like, and people don't understand, man, like, it's always something. It's always got to be something in the news. It's like one thing after another, man. And I was just kind of like, it's triggering. It's triggering. When I seen it, it kind of made my blood boil, and I just was like, yo, and I can't help but to feel, and I know violence isn't the answer, but I can't help to feel it's kind of like you do some racist shit, and I think somebody should beat your ass. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, but that's just my take. I know it's not the answer, but I think with every action, there's a reaction, and I think, what's going to happen? These girls are just they, from the news that we gotten, the girls were expelled, and and they'll go into another school. Their parents probably have money. They're probably rich, and that'll be that. But I think if there's some consequence behind it, if you got your ass beat, then it's kind of like, maybe I shouldn't do this again. I mean, what do you think about that? You think an ass whooping is warranted for something like this?
No, violence is definitely not the answer. But my thing is that what even brings you to the point to do that? To go out and buy some black spray paint and then go sit there and then spray your face black with spray paint. I do skincare. I like to keep my skin color.
Right.
Right.
So
if I do that, and it's gonna mess me up.
Right.
So that's a lot, and that just makes you think about how deep this goes in for them, how deep this roots goes in for them, how much hate that they have, because that doesn't make any sense for you to do that. Go spend your money and go spray paint your face black. So, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No. I completely understand. Like, to just go out of your way and just like, yo, today I'm gonna go. Yo, y'all called you like, yo, Mage, I'm gonna go spray paint my face black. This is what we doing tonight. Like, that's the move.
No.
I understand it, man. So my thing is like, so the girls have since then been expelled. They've been expelled, and I don't think that should be the end all be all. I honestly think that, obviously we can't whoop their ass, like whatever. But I honestly think that they should definitely have some counseling. I think that, there should be some classes or courses to take, because at the end of the day, like for me, I'm an adult and I can possibly get over it. But there's some people that saw that video that can't get over it. You know what I mean? Like, that shit cut deep. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just kind of like, I think that, and they're kids also. You got to realize that. So I think that some counseling, a real sitting down, a real class to understand that what us as black people have been through. So to, you just can't do shit like that, because we've been through so much pain, and you doing that, it just reignites that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I really do think that.
Yeah, just try to figure out, why do they even feel like that? Why do they have that deep root in there to, where does that come from?
Right. Right. Do you think, because I have a couple of people that I think is to blame. First, I think the parents. As white parents, I think you have a duty to educate your kids on certain things. And, I feel like when I see kids do certain shit like that, yes, social media, but a part of me think that maybe you've seen this shit at home. Yeah. What do you think?
No, definitely. You've definitely seen it at home, and it's all about accountability. You always learn what you learn at home. You're gonna bring at home. You're gonna bring to wherever society brings you, whether it's with your friends or with your coworkers or the workplace. What your home is. Your home is the root base.
Right.
It's the root base. So
right.
You definitely learn it. They definitely learn it from home, but it's also about accountability. I also think a lot of these kids don't know what they're doing. They don't think about the consequences of what they're doing. So they're saying they might not. Some of those girls in the videos might not have not been even comfortable with what they were doing.
Right.
But because one or two of them was said, let's do this.
Right.
All of them joined in, and
right.
then it became a whole group effort. So, it's all about, it's the peers is who you about, and for the kids, it's all about who you surround yourself with, and as well as, and all about, what's going on at home.
Right. Absolutely. I think so too. And I think that, as far as like the kids having to apologize, I think the parents should apologize. Because, when you got kids 14, 15, 16, until they turn 18 years old, I think you have to come to the forefront and say, yo, listen, man, this is not what my kid learned at home. I do not condone this. We do not do this at home. I don't know where they got this from. I think that makes it much more believable to where people won't look at you and be like, you know what? Maybe the parents are racist also. You know what I'm saying? So I do think the parent definitely has to take some accountability. But also, I do think the school has to take some accountability with this, because I feel like, you know, in reading here, it says that the school is 80% white and just over 6% black. So that just goes to show you majority of the school is white. So, and I think as a white institution at school, I think you have to educate the white kids on certain things when it pertains to black people, black culture. And I feel like, especially with Catholic school, you know, they'll bust God upside your head all day. Jesus Christ, Mary, Mother. I went to Catholic school, so I know this firsthand. You going Bible study. You're gonna go to church every Wednesday and Friday, and all this. But at the same time, like, yes, that's reality. That's the world we live in. Religion, right? But at the same time, reality is also the people that you meet in this world, which is black, white, yellow, green, any of that. You know what I mean? So I think the school holds a responsibility about that. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that?
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that, you know, going to a Catholic school, you know, I'm sure that there's more black people, there's more black kids, and black people in general that want to be able to send their kids there.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
so, but unfortunately, it's only white people that are usually able to afford, for the most part, usually able to afford that. Going to the reason why that the school is 80% white. So, but at the same time, I do not think that I don't think that the school is really looking at their numbers like that.
Right.
To say, hey, we have to make an effort to, what can we do to make the school more diverse.
Right.
I think because there is a lot of things that, you know, some of the schools can, you know, can do to be more diverse. You know?
Right.
They can look into some of the gifted elementary schools and, you know, things like that, and see who they can sponsor, some kids that they can sponsor to come back to the
Absolutely,
school.
yeah.
You know, so I think it does come into the responsibility of the school as well to, you know, try to, you know, make the school more diverse, and as well as you know, try to, maybe some of the kids, the school, the teachers need to pay more attention to, you know, what is going on.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way that some things like this can be going on, and, you know, it's only going on at home.
Right.
You know, there has to be some clues there has to be some clues that's what is happening in the classroom.
Right.
You know, there has to be some bullying signs that's going on around the hallways that you can notice.
Absolutely, because I was reading here, and then one of the parents, because the way it happened is that the video was sent out to some of the kids, and it was sent to black students also. And it's not the parents went to the school and told the school about it. The school didn't really do nothing, you know, typical, you know, oh yeah, we'll look into it. Yeah, you know, we'll take a look into it and see what happened. And it's not until it went viral. And that's the case. That's the case with a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, until shit goes viral, that's when, like, oh my God, we have a problem. We need to do something.
Get this under control.
Right. So, I mean, that's what I think, you know, I kind of feel like I kind of have a problem with the school, because when you see a situation like this, I think you have to tackle that shit head on first and not let it become viral. It's kind of like, all right, you know what? Yeah, it's viral now, but we've already taken care of this. This person's gone. Everything's been squared away, and we're good. But I don't think that was the case. So, I mean, we'll see. But also, I honestly, man,
nobody thinks anything's gonna blow up. You know,
nobody
thinks anything's gonna blow up.
No one thinks things are gonna go viral until it actually goes viral. You know what I'm saying?
You never know.
So, but I also
creating
right. I mean, so I also blame social media, man. Like, social media is at an all-time disgusting high, man. And especially this thing we call Twitter, man. Like every time I open up Twitter, it's some nonsense, man.
Cyberbullying.
Yo, it is disgusting, man. Every time I open up Twitter, it's disgusting. And
you have all these people just hiding behind fake AVIs, and
It's
they can just keep creating accounts just to keep attacking people.
right. And like for me, it's just kind of like, yo, somebody has to do something about social media because these kids, they're learning it from the adults. The adults are the ones that's doing all the bullying, all the racist shit, saying all the stuff. They're picking it up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think something definitely needs to be done about social media, but I don't think it is. What do you think about that shit?
With the way it is, I think they have Elon Musk running social media now.
Right.
I don't know who the other CEOs are for like Facebook and TikTok, but I do know that they're banning a lot of government phones are being banning TikTok from their phone service. So I mean, I think with parental advice, it's really tough to really monitor what your kids are doing. So I do think that you need to introduce social media slowly to them. Maybe certain apps. It's 2023. That you should be able to do that on your kid's phone, right? Restrict apps,
right?
Yeah, so maybe start with restrictions on my apps, introducing apps slowly to them, introducing some social media slowly to them, because like at the end of the day, some social medias are just more ruthless than the other.
Oh, absolutely.
Some social media just,
absolutely.
But at the end of the day, like one day your kids are playing innocent games, and the next day they're on Twitter being cyberbullied, and then you just never know. So I do think that social media does play a part, and also, parents do have to do their own parts as well, monitoring what social media that their kids are using.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, your kids are gonna want to be on social media.
Right.
But it's a matter of like how they're using it, and how you're monitoring it as well.
Absolutely. So going back to the Catholic school thing. So I know you went to Catholic school. So can you explain to what was your you're from Nigeria, you moved from Nigeria and you went to Catholic school. Did you ever experience any of that racism or any of that, like, hey, you're not really one of us or so?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, so like I moved to when I moved from Nigeria, I went to an all black school for the most part in Derby.
Right.
I think in my class there was literally one white kid in my class.
Right.
Yeah, so I went there first, and then I went to Ridley, another all white school. That was an all white school at that time.
Right.
For the most part. And, so there was definitely it really was a public school, and then and then I went to Catholic school for my high school years. So I always remember the story of I went to I was in the English class, and the teacher was asking us to read a paragraph. And the paragraph was like, it was me and another Hispanic kid. And, this is when I really thought like things were really, I was like, wow, this is really messed up.
Right.
And we're reading this paragraph, and nobody wants to read. And the teacher announces to the whole class, like, hey, there should be only two people that shouldn't be able to speak English in this class. It should be me, it should be Majorie, or this other kid. And I'm like, whoa, like, where was that announced that English wasn't my first language?
Right.
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 So that was my first, not my first experience, but like from the first experience from like an adult, adult teacher. It's like, whoa, where'd that come from?
Right. No, I understand. Because I'm originally from New York. I live in Philly now. Hence 7 p.m. in Philly. But I grew up in New York, and when I was in New York, I went to Catholic school, but it was a predominantly black Catholic school. Or if you want to get even deeper, it was predominantly Haitian. So it was a lot of Haitian kids and a lot of black kids. I think we maybe have 2 or 3 white kids maybe in our school. But we never treated them any different. It was kind of like, yo, just another kid. Like, kid. I never realized like there was someone else that was different. I went, and then after I went from Catholic school, I went to a public high school, and it was predominantly white. And I didn't, it was different to me. Like the kids were a little different. I didn't really know how to talk to them because I was just kind of like, do they like the same things that I like? Do you mean like, you know, do they like rap music, or should I speak the same way? Do I speak with my black friends? You mean, but for me, it was just kind of like, yo, like, just be myself. And then that's pretty much what it was. Until I moved to Philadelphia, I don't think I didn't experience any racism until I moved here. Once I moved here, that's when I was like, oh, this is a different ball game. It's different. Yeah. It's a little different out here. You know what I'm saying? So have you ever like just, you know, going outside of like school, like have you ever faced any like racism outside of school?
Oh yeah. I always remember this one time. I think it was around Christmas time. My wife and I were walking down the street. I think we're going out to dinner or something.
Yeah.
Some random white man was just walking down. It's like, nigger. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, like,
what is this?
I didn't even talk to you.
Right.
I didn't even bump into you. I didn't even look at you. I didn't even like, you know what I mean? I'm just go about my day. Right. So it's like, you know, when things like that happen, I would just think about it. It's like, damn, this shit goes deep.
It is. No,
it goes deep, you know. It's like, cause like for me, at the end of the day, you know, I don't think I'll ever go past a white man and be like, whatever. I don't even know what they call white people.
I mean, I know what they call them, but I'm not gonna say it. You know,
I really don't know.
No, I'm not gonna say it. This is my second episode. I ain't trying to get canceled before we even get started. So nah.
The only one I see is Karen, and I don't know.
Yeah. Karen is very low key. I mean, but you know, they call him a lot of stuff. But you know, I think the old school black folks had names for them. The new school black folks, I don't think we really care much.
Yeah,
but
I'm not trying to.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's crazy. So a lot of people think that Philadelphia is like this melting pot and there's all types of races, and they are, but it's not what you think it is. A lot of the places that you go out to, it's very white. I mean, Manayunk, downtown, the Northeast, all that, you know. You go out to these places and it's very white. You know what I'm saying? And I experience a lot of racism, and it's kind of like sometimes it's much more disgusting than others, you know. So, you know, and I have white friends. I have all types of friends. So, you know, I'll go to a bar, and when we're getting ready to go in, the bouncer will look at you and be like, yo, we're not doing shorts today.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not doing shorts, but he went in with shorts.
Cargos.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that today. Or they'll look at you and you'll give them the ID and they'll go, oh, do you have a credit card for that ID, with that ID? I'm like, what? You didn't ask him for a credit card with the ID to make sure it was really him? Like, nah. Or you're in there and you have your hat backwards, and then they go, yo, can you turn your hat forward? I'm just like, yo, you didn't ask him.
Then just upcharging you for drinks.
Absolutely.
You can't do anything about it because, that's the price.
Right. And for me, honestly, bro, like, I'd rather you say, like, yo, no black people allowed tonight, than bother me while I'm inside. It's kind of like, I'll gladly take my money somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, yo, why do the fucking run around and do these little subliminal, like, yo, hey, turn your hat forward because we're not allowing hat backwards. Like, what establishment? If I'm allowed to wear a hat, does it fucking matter whether I have it backwards, sideways? I mean, like, I don't understand, man. But that's just some of these establishments, man. And I think it'll be much better if, you know, these establishments would be like, you know what, we just don't want your kind in here. You mean? So, but the most disgusting shit that I went through or I experienced in Philadelphia is I was out in Manayunk, Philadelphia. Yes, you. I was out there, and go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Before you get into that, I just wanted to say, like, Philadelphia is a melting pot.
Yeah,
you know, it's a melting pot for all the other counties surrounding it. the Delaware County,
Right.
the Bucks County, the Montgomery County.
Right.
So all the people from over there come over to Philadelphia, and that's where you get the Manny Youngs and all the
Right.
So it's not necessary. But the thing is, like, everybody, Philadelphia is a city of neighborhoods.
Right.
And everybody is stuck in their own neighborhood. So the North Philadelphians,
I can respect that.
all stuck in their own neighborhoods, and the South, like especially the South Philly, like the East Pass, the Italian market, all the
Right.
South Philly, they're all stuck in their ways, and everybody just all stuck in their own ways in Philadelphia.
Right. Right. I completely understand. I completely understand what you're saying, and to go into one of the worst, disgusting things that I've experienced is Maniac. Yeah, you're on the list. I was out at this bar. I forget the name, and you know what? I'm not gonna even. It wasn't even the bar's fault, so I'm not even gonna say, "Yo, it's the bar." But I was chilling. I think I came from New York the one night, and I was feeling down and all that. So I was like, you know what? Some of my coworkers was like, some of my old coworkers and stuff like that was like, yo, pull up to the bar, come have a drink, whatever. And that's what I did. So I pulled up to the bar. I had a drink, and while I'm chilling there, this white dude keeps walking back and forth, and he keeps looking at me, and I'm just like, okay, maybe he thinks I'm cool. Like, I mean, I don't know. You mean, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to think of it, So he keeps walking back and forth, and then he pulls up to me and he goes, yo, you gonna keep playing that black music? Oh, no, he goes, you want me to keep playing that black music? In my mind, I'm just like, this white dude's probably drunk, whatever. And I'm just like, nah, bro, play whatever you want. Like, I didn't, but then he emphasizes it. He goes, yo, you want me to keep playing that black music? And I'm just kind of like,
he's trying to start something.
Here we go. And I'm just like, you know what? I look around where I'm at. I'm like, I'm in Manny Young. There's not many black people around. So you know what? We're not gonna go there. So I go to him. I go, yo, play whatever you want, bro. I don't care. And he goes, nah. I want to play that black music because because I'm a racist. He came flat out. He came out. He said, yo, I am a racist. And I said, oh, okay, well, good for you. And he goes, well, your people don't like my people. And I'm just like, huh?
You approach me.
Yeah, you approached me. I didn't bother you. Like, so he was like, your people don't like my people. I said, I don't know who you speak for. When I speak for me, I speak for me. I love everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have an issue with anyone. He was like, well, your people don't like my people and my people don't like your people. I said, yo, man, I'm not going here with you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I love everyone, and that's that. So the owner of the bar overhears the conversation that's happening. He was like, yo, what did he say to you? And I was just like, yeah, whatever you heard him say, that's what he said. And they escorted him. A little scuffle or two. They escorted him out. And then, the owner of the bar comes over to me. He was like, yo, man, like, I don't know how you didn't put your hands on him. And I was just like, yo.
You see where I'm at?
Yeah, right. You see where I'm at? Like, if I put my hands on this white man,
it turns into a different story.
It turns into a different story. It turns into the aggressive black man and the white establishment comes in and disturbs the peace. So for me, I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And it was kind of like, you watch on the news, you never know what's going to happen. So they escort this man out. And then I go to the owner. I was like, nah, I wasn't going to disturb the peace, whatever. And I said, but do me a favor, and can you lock your door? Because this looks like a guy that will come back with a gun. Yeah. And he was like, nah, he's not going to come back. This is not going to happen, whatever. And he comes back, and then the guy comes back. He locks the door. The guy comes back. And when the guy comes back, he's knocking on the door, being all drunk and belligerent, knocking on the door. And then something falls, and then when he reaches down, you see a gun in his waistband.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I'm just kind of like, So now at this point, the owner of the bar is like pushing everybody back, and they're like, yo, they call the cops or whatever. And the guy doesn't leave. He stays there, and the cops come. The cops come.
That's about it.
Right. So the cops come. This guy's clearly drunk. At this point, this guy has walked to his car and put the gun in his car. Like, it's only right. Like, I mean, he ain't a dummy. So he does that, and then, we start exiting the building or whatever, and then the cops, they're asking us, it's like, yo, what happened, blah, 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 and I'm just kind of like, I explained to the cop, and the cop goes, yo, yeah, we checked them, we couldn't find anything, and I'm just like, what? And then, what's the crazy part about it? It's two black cops. So, when you see two black cops, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, they understand.
That's not the case.
Yeah, they know the vibes. No,
that's not the case.
Not the case. They looked at me. They said, yo, there's nothing we can do. We didn't find a gun on him.
Yeah, they can't search his car.
They can't search his car. But, number one, the car's illegally parked. Okay. And this man is clearly drunk. You know what I'm saying? So, for me.
Yeah, probable cause.
Right. And I'm telling the cops this, like, I shouldn't be having to do the cops' jobs. I mean, they're supposed to be doing this shit. But it was just kind of like, it was like more say that they didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, if we take him down to the station.
What time was it?
This was like around like 12 o'clock, midnight.
They want to fill a little extra paperwork and stay a couple extra hours. They want to just go home.
I mean, I get it, but right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then, I explained to the cop the whole situation. And I even said to the cop, I said, yo, the difference between me and you is that you have a uniform on. Because let's say you take that uniform on, you put yourself in my seat, that way I was sitting there, this man would have said the same shit to you. Same shit. So you got to understand where I'm coming from. And then I handled myself accordingly. Like, do I get a win for that? Do I get a W situation?
Yeah, you do, because you didn't show yourself. You stayed level-headed the whole time. You didn't want to interact with the guy. Everything was handled accordingly. You predicted what was going to happen. That's exactly what happened. So at the end of the day, I think you did save. Honestly, I think you probably did save people's lives that day, because you don't know what would. If you didn't say anything to the owner, like, hey, this guy might come back. Right. The door might have just still been open. Right.
Right. No. You're right. You're right, man. And it was kind of like, for me, the guy was still across the street screaming all types of obscenities and all that shit. And I was just kind of like, I looked at him. I was just like, yo, man, you got the world wrong. You got the world all wrong, man. And then, and then I left. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is my time to go home. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that sometimes, man. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go home. And in the next couple of days, the police department calls me and they're like, oh, is there anything we can do? Is there any counseling? Blah, 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 blah. And I told the lady, I was just like, yo, do your jobs. Do your jobs. I mean, the man comes in with a gun. I don't see a gun. And I explained to them, like, yo, what if he felt some type of way because he was escorted out by a black security guard? What if he feels some type of way? It's like, you know what? I don't like the way I feel now. I'm going to come back and I'm going to shoot this place up. Now what? I mean, that's what I told her on the phone. And then, and that was that, man. And I left it at that. And hopefully, wherever that guy is at, I hope you're watching this. I hope some way you watch this, and shame on you, sucker. And so, but yeah, man. But other than that, man, for me, it's like Philadelphia. I love the city. It's a great city, but I feel like there's a lot of nonsense that goes on around here, man. But yeah. Do you have any other stories, anything else to share regarding, your racial experiences?
Not at the moment. No. I do think that, like, just to go back to the point of those kids, parents, you need to pay attention to what your kids are doing online, and just be accountable for them. You just never know. You think you might be raising a wonderful kid, but that wonderful kid might be getting corrupted by somebody else or a friend that you don't want them hanging out with. So you just need to be around. And I think that's what's going on right now, is that, even on the streets of Philadelphia, with all of this young kids, committing these crimes, I just think the parents are not present in their life. So, this overall message is, take care of your damn kids.
Nah, and at the end of the day, I'll leave y'all guys with this, man. Like, we turn on the news and we see all this heartbreak. We see if it's not this, it's not it, then it's that. So my message to all you guys is love each other, you know, and we're not meant to hate each other. We're meant to love each other, you know, and I use this, you know, I'm using this platform to give out love, to spread out love, to spread out a message that it's we're not too far gone. You know, like, why do you think, you know, when a soldier goes out to war and he comes back with PTSD and he comes back all fucked up? Because as human beings, we're not made to kill one another. We're not made to hate one another. We're meant to love. It's so much easier to love. So I leave y'all out with this. I leave y'all out with love one another. It's never too late to right your wrongs. It's never too late to be a better person. But that's what I leave y'all with. But Mage.
Amen.
Mage, I want to thank you so much for pulling up and sharing your story and on this podcast. You got anything to say to the people before we head out of here?
No, I just want to say thank you again, Steve, for bringing me on to this podcast. This was my first ever podcast, so you know, let me know in the comments. Let Steve know in the comments how I did. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, this was a good podcast. And also, you know, make sure to check me out on YouTube, mejirearijaje, on all of my socials. Steve will have that all, you know, tagged in the description. And, you know, thank you again for checking us out. And make sure you like and subscribe to my boy's channel.
Guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of 7 p.m. in Philly. I'm your host, Steve. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, like it again, subscribe again, do all that. Send it to your auntie, your mama, your sister, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Be good. And I'm out.